How attractive do you actually think you are? I would say I'm a 5 just by looking at my body, as I have got a fat belly even if I'm mostly skinny, so I need to continue doing more exercise and get some abs, or just downgrade my belly as I look at myself and don't like what I become. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad I got some weight. I have always struggled to get some as I've been skinny my whole life, but now, I got this fat in the wrong place and makes my body look odd. Yet, I just need to get some time to do a bit exercise and it will be gone in no time, but I have been a bit occupied because of work, doing my comic and personal stuff. Attractive is an interesting term. I think that my looks are okay. That said, my wife who is younger and smoking hot says she thinks I'm hot. She says I'm not pretty, I'm very masculine. She doesn't like the Brad Pitt pretty. She says my confidence and sense of humor are very attractive as well as my desire to be there for the family. I don't see all these things. I see some scars, a broken nose and all the faults of the mirror. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder and attractive isn't necessarily what you see. This paragraph I read from a Victoria Laurie book years back sums up how I think about myself in terms of attractiveness pretty nicely. Overall I've always been content with my looks. I'm neither bombshell nor plain Jane, but somewhere comfortably in between. My looks allow me the freedom to float unnoticed among the masses when I'm makeupless and sloppy, or to turn a few heads when I need an ego boost and I've spent an hour in the bathroom priming and primping. Excerpt from Abby Cooper, Psychic High. I know I'm pretty attractive, even though sometimes I don't feel attractive. I listen to a podcast and the girls talk about having an ugliest girl in the world attack and I've never related to anything more lol. It's a feeling that passes. I derive a lot of self-worth from my appearance and honestly I love the commenters here that seem like they don't. It's cool to know that there are lots of people who'd golf what they look like BC it's not what makes them awesome. Love that for them. In a perfect world, when I walk in a room, guys' heads turn. And I don't even pay attention to them. I just do my own thing while they ogle at me from afar. When I catch them staring at me they look the other way. Even the most attractive looking guy is staring at me. But I know they're scared to talk to me. They're probably worried about getting rejected by me, zany face, person shrugging. In summation, I don't know if I'm attractive. But that's just my opinion. Probably a 2 or 3. I know as an obese female, I already am not the highest pickings for a man, and my interests are niche and weird, and I'm an introvert who doesn't know how to communicate well. I do take care of my health by going to the gym and lifting heavy as a hobby, and I do wear makeup and take care of my skin and appearance, but I'm still a tub of a lard by my country's standards. I'm 265 pounds 5 feet 4 inches right now, probably a 6'7", but when I cut down to around 65 kilograms near the end of summer, my jawline, cheeks, and every other fat deposit on my face makes me look like a 9 at some angles. Fitness truly does make attractive people. That goes for almost everyone here. I didn't rate myself, hopefully I'm not being a hypocrite. When I start talking however, people stop being attracted, haha. Physically I'd like to think I'm maybe a 7. I've lost a decent bit of weight and gained some muscle in the gym. Kinda have a decent thing going on Arden with my hair and have a decent smile. I have a bit of a lazy eye when I'm tired though. Personality is probably a 6, I've got some anger and patience issues I'm working through. But other than that I think I've got a decent personality. I think I'm a solid 6, maybe a strong 6 or dare I even say a 7 on a good day. I can't get myself to care enough about clothes and styling to dress well, but I think that my clothes are innocuous enough I don't look like a school shooter. I think my face is plain enough that how attractive I am perceived to be mainly has to do with the impression people have of me after meeting me. Well, I'm broke AF. In my late 20s, still dependent upon my parents. Still, lots of girls approach me because of relatively gooder looks than the average male. Before anyone tries to become my aunt to lecture me. I'm not broke by choice. I work 12 hours a day and trying to run my business. One day I'll be financially free, then my attractiveness level will be over 9,000. I don't think I'm attractive except when I had a few drinks, but somehow I managed to attract some pretty ladies when going out, with the occasional girl coming up to me. Very rarely some will tell me I'm good looking. But once years ago at a party some dude across in the hallway looked at me and called me ugly lol. I don't know, I'm pretty funny though, I feel like it's that. I think about this a lot. I read an article that said if you saw your clone walking down the street you wouldn't even realize it because your perception of yourself is completely different than what you actually look like, so now I can't sleep because I'm wondering what the heck I actually look like. These days probably a solid 5 or 6. When I look at photos of my younger self, I was probably a solid 7, maybe even an 8 if I got all dolled up. That sucks because when I was younger I thought I was hideous, so I didn't really put forth a lot of effort to show my true potential because of low self-esteem. I regret that now. Young years wasted, like A2410. I'm obese, but, even if I wasn't, I don't feel like I'd be particularly stand out in terms of looks. Aside from, maybe, my beard full and thick, I don't think I'd have anything that would make the ladies interested in me physically. Even if I got into shape, I don't think there'd be anything special. Just average. I used to be quite slim and very in shape. I thought myself to be most attractive then 7'10". 3 years later I tacked on 15 kilograms, mostly in muscle but also more fat, visible love handles, and just noticeably bigger obviously. I've been told I'm more attractive now than when I was slim and in shape. But I feel I look like a 4 or 5'10". In my prime, I was a solid 6'10", but in a hat and glasses to hide my receding hairline and beady eyes, I went up to a 7'10". Now I'm older and fatter. So I'm invisible to younger women as 0'10", but very attractive to a divorced middle-aged woman that wants to cuddle, cook for me and get her pussy eaten at 8'10". I'm pretty hot in GL, but it doesn't change that looks fade and are not that important. Does make a lot of aspects in life easier. For some reason looking better than average really gives people an impression that you're a better person, appear more hygienic, etc. Weird phenomenons, but hey, it's society. It's weird for me. Every person I've met has on one point told me I dress nice. And we have a word for that here that is always used for me when someone who doesn't know wants to call after me. But my face isn't beautiful. So I don't know what I'm from 1 to 10. I can maybe say 4, I give myself a solid 8 because although I am considered a handsome Latino by both genders and have gotten catcalled a few times, I'm not 6 feet, which a lot of American girls value more. I'm 5 feet 7 inches, but overall I'm really confident and that doesn't bring me down at all. On a bad day? Fugly. That said, I have stalkers. I get hit on by the odd straight dude here or there. Gay guys humiliate themselves by stripping off when drunk in my presence. So, I don't know. I can be anywhere on the scale at any time. It always varies. I'd say I'm a solid before picture in a makeover show. You know, the kind with great potential but currently more of a fixer-upper. On a good day, I'm like a surprise thrift store find, not everyone's first choice, but a real gem in the right light. I'm unfit and a KF, but I do like to look into the mirror. It's strange. Sometimes I feel hella ugly, other times I don't. I'd rather never look at my side profile though. I'd consider myself like a 6'10". I'm just definitely not my own type, that's for sure. When I see pictures of myself when I was in my 20s, I look really pretty but so insecure. In my late 30s and early 40s, I'd say I still have my looks, but I'm also in the best shape of my life, so I have an added confidence. I'd rate myself 8.5/10 average. Don't stand out. Neither because I gross people out, or because I attract them. The end result is that I'm still single and people will probably never approach me, but maybe if I figure out how to approach someone I might be able to succeed. A solid 5/10. I think I'm aging like a fine boxed wine. I started as mushy grapes and I'm slowly fermenting into a passable product. But my form factor lends me to being quite practical, and while I may never be top 10, I appeal to the masses. I'd say a solid 3.5. But age doesn't seem to take as much of a toll on me than on others around me. So I hope my rating will grow exponentially and not just following a slight linear curve until it reaches 4 on my deathbed nor plunges suddenly. Most of the time I think and feel like a 3 out of 10. The only time someone started raving about how good I looked in a suit and I mistakenly took it that she liked me, tried asking her out but found out we were only friends and nothing more. I'd come 29 meters good looking enough that I turn heads of some men and most women. Girls in their 20s almost always smile at me, and all of my female friends flirt non-stop with me. But when I look in the mirror or pictures I see a 3 or 4 person shrugging. I know that I'm attractive, too many people have told me so that now it's just illogical to think otherwise. If it were up to my view though I'd be endlessly imperfect. Sucks, have the looks apparently but not the confidence to use it. Pretty attractive in GL, don't wanna sound like one of those girls that think everyone loves her, but I've had many people ask me out and people calling me pretty and stuff. I don't wanna weigh a 10 but I'm also not a 1, so maybe a 6 or 7. I've only thought I was attractive for 2 years of my life. Now I look at myself only see how ugly I've become. My body dysmorphia eating disorders have destroyed my image of myself, my body. One day I hope to accept how I look. I know I'm handsome cause my 4 brothers, and my parents are, as well. Females seem to gravitate towards me. Personally, it's never been a thing for me, although having always been athletic, I've kept in shape. Remaining fit is important. I remember walking into a college football game, some douchebag frat guys had scoring cards they were holding up as women walked up to the ticket booth. I got an 8, whether they gave me a 10 or a 2, the whole thing was dehumanizing. I don't feel attractive, but recently I looked myself in the mirror and I was like, wait, I'm kinda hot. But then I've only ever had one relationship and it's a long distance one, so I don't think I am particularly attractive to others. Grandma attractive. I get told I'm handsome by the older generation and have nice eyes usually by people my age. Personally, I think I'm just average. Like I get erased from your memory 5 minutes after you've seen me average. You know, it's kinda weird. People always tell me I'm a good-looking dude, but I have zero confidence in that and act as so. Sometimes I think if I were to just be more confident in myself and looks, I could get places in life. Embarrassed smiley face. I've been told I'm a 4-5, but in a good way. Whatever that means. Not ugly or creepy looking. But nothing to write home about. Fine enough to be around friends and not drag everyone else down, but easily overlooked otherwise. Mirror from okay to very nice. Camera, I try not to think about it, partially because I just look like a female version of my dad. It's not pretty, and I don't want to strongly resemble anybody. What people say varies.